Imagine being so bad at your job that you're labelled as your competitor's Employee of the Month. Could there be anything more embarrassing? To find out, maybe you should ask Mattia Binotto, who has recently gained the unwanted title of Red Bull Employee of the Month. The Ferrari strategy team have made mistake after mistake this year, and unfortunately for Mattia, he is taking the brunt of the blame. The story of Ferrari's season is pretty common knowledge at this point. In Monaco, they bungled Charles Leclerc's pit stop strategy, costing him a win at his home race and denying him what would undoubtedly have been a dream come true. In Silverstone, they made the same mistake, ruining Leclerc's race by messing up his pit stop strategy, costing him the win and relegating him to 4th position. Hungary was the most recent cock-up by Ferrari. This time, it was Charles Leclerc who suffered again, as he was put on a useless hard tyre which cost him race pace, positions, and at least a podium if not a race win. Carlos Sainz hasn't been immune from the Ferrari pit wall either. His problems just haven't been as high profile due to his position in the World Drivers' Championship. In France though, he was furious at the team for asking him to pit as he was overtaking Sergio Perez, and then for pitting him right after overtaking the Mexican. As has happened every time Ferrari have made mistakes this season, Mattia Binotto has stood up in front of the media and explained why Ferrari were right and everyone else was wrong. At times, as we have reported in numerous videos, he's just straight up lied about situations in the race and constantly defended the decisions the team has made. Defending your team in the face of mistakes once is seen as good management. Everyone makes mistakes, that's okay. The second time, you own up to your mistakes and make promises of change and improvement. Then, the third time, you have to make a change. You have to fix what is obviously broken. Mattia, though, has continued to deny that his team have done anything wrong when time and time again, the data proves that they have made blindingly obvious errors. Ferrari fans and Italian media are as blindly supportive of their team as the UK media is of Lewis Hamilton. No matter what Ferrari do, they will back them up 100%, throwing drivers under the bus before the team, as they did with Sebastian Vettel. So when the media and fans start defending the drivers over the team, it is a sign that something is going horribly wrong. It is also a sign that the Ferrari upper management, way over Mattia Binotto's head, will have taken notice of. Ferrari is an institution, and the last thing it wants is its name being dragged through the mud as it is at the moment. The list of people that have given quotes to the media calling for Mattia Binotto's head is quite frightening. He has of course come out in his own defense, but his allies are becoming more scarce daily. Before we talk about Mattia's defense, let's see what the prosecution has to say. Binotto became team principal in 2019, having been the team's technical director for 3 years. The Ferrari boss has had to learn a job that was not meant for him, according to former Ferrari sporting director Cesar Fiorio. Binotto in the past revealed that he never had any interest in becoming Ferrari team principal, insisting that it wasn't his big dream. Fiorio was team boss at the Italian team from 1989 to 1991 and helped manage the likes of Alain Prost. However, he hit back at the modern team's strategy errors which have plagued their season. He told the media, "Something is obviously wrong at Ferrari, mistakes are made. Binotto has to get to the bottom of it. That's his biggest challenge now." However, he has hit back at modern F1 teams' reliance on computers to decide strategy options and a lack of creativity from the pit wall. He added, "This room in the racing car factory where specialists are supposed to support the team on site only makes everything more complicated. Decisions made in a matter of seconds that make the difference between victory and defeat must be based on the instinct and experience of the professionals on the ground, not on tens of thousands of calculations." I'm not sure anyone is going to fall for the defense of Mattia has too much help. The Ferrari team problems this season seem to have come from not using data instead of using too much of it. Time and again, they've made decisions that seem to be against what the data suggests, such as in Hungary when they pit Leclerc onto a hard tyre that hadn't worked on Saturday, or on other cars during the race on Sunday. Before we tell you about the other ex-Ferrari team members who are calling out Mattia, if you agree with Mattia needing to go, there is a petition gaining some traction on change.org calling for a change at the Ferrari top job. Started in 2019, when strategic mistakes also played a part in the Scuderia's struggles to win races, the petition has been brought back to life. It was initially started by a fan from South Africa, and many more users have now spoken out against Binotto, urging Ferrari to sack him. It is unknown exactly what they expect will happen as a result of the petition, as no one has any jurisdiction over whom Ferrari choose to lead their F1 team other than the board themselves. We just thought it was too funny not to include. Former Ferrari driver Felipe Massa fears the team principal Mattia Binotto's job may be under threat if he does not change the structure of his team. A lot of Ferrari's failures this season have been avoidable, and such avoidance would have made the championship a lot closer at this point. So Massa affirmed that Binotto has to look at himself as part of the reason for the collapse of his team's title assault. He's a very good engineer, very professional guy. He understands a lot about it on the technical side. He's also a good guy, to be honest, he explained. But in the end, the result is not coming the way it should, so we cannot definitely blame him, but we need to say that he's part of it. Binotto took on his current role in 2019, having spent many years working on the technical side. He knows the company inside out, so he knows how brutal F1 can be. As a result, Massa warns that a failure to make changes to the team could have consequences for the 52-year-old. He needs to turn and change things in a quick way. Otherwise, he can pay for it with his job, explained the 11-time race winner. Massa is right that the entire blame for the mistakes Ferrari has made does not lie with Mattia, but the fact that mistakes have continued to happen does. As team principal, his job is to ensure that every part of the team is working together to the best of its ability in the pursuit of race victories. At the moment though, the strategy team, headed by strategy director Inaki Rueda, are like a rotten apple in a barrel. They're spoiling the rest of the team. Many Ferrari fans know that it isn't Mattia making these calls in the race, but he is the one publicly defending them. And that is as good as a death sentence for a team leader. Look at Toto Wolff this season. He's been honest of his team's shortcomings and has taken action to fix them. It's something that Christian Horner is very good at as well. You don't have to stand in front of the media and publicly shame people for their mistakes, but you do have to acknowledge the mistakes of your team and take action to fix them. This is Binotto's 4th season in charge, and despite mounting pressure, exasperated by a string of poor strategy calls and dubious reliability, he remains confident his team are on the right path. There is nothing to change. I think it's always a matter of confidence, learning, building experience, building skills. He said after the Hungarian Grand Prix when asked what might need to happen for the team to capitalize on their often superior race pace. But if I look again at the balance of the first half of the season, there is no reason why we should change. I think we simply need to understand Hungary and address that and try to be competitive, as we have been in 12 races so far. There is no reason why we will not be competitive at the next. I don't think anyone thinks Ferrari can't be competitive at the moment. That isn't really the problem. The problem is that they are unable to convert their competitiveness into World Championship points. Mattia got even more defensive in an interview before the summer break. He chose to take the line that his team didn't make mistakes, they were just unfortunate with the outcome of their decisions. Races like Monaco, Silverstone or Paul Ricard have been judged problematic on this front, but I don't see the team as a problem because I think we've also made the right decisions. I'm not convinced what we did was wrong. I think we made what were the right decisions at the time they were made, and sometimes they turned out to be unfortunate, not wrong. And if we look at the work of our strategy team, sometimes they even did great things, better than the opponents. This summer break is bound to be the hardest of Mattia's career. While his drivers take a relaxing break in the sun, he'll be getting the grilling of a lifetime at the Ferrari headquarters. This could have been the year they finally returned to the pinnacle of the sport, but instead, it's set to be the most embarrassing yet. Do you think Mattia will be on the pit wall when we return to racing after the summer, or will he get rid of Inaki Rueda to save his job? Let us know your predictions down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye-bye.